Anthony, and Pt. Okay, so who's feeling confident, by the way?
TT said he's confident during the break.
Yeah, you got this. Okay.
I think my mic's broke. Alright, take it away.
Okay, you hold my tail while I fish for you. What am I?
Fishing rod.
Almost.
Ooh,
Almost.
almost.
Something that holds fish.
Hook.
Hold my tail while I fish for you.
To be fair, it's not very good. It said net.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah, not great. Moving on swiftly. Okay, I think this is better. I have keys but no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter but you can't go outside. What am I? So it's got keys but no locks and space but no room. You can enter but you can't go outside. I'm gonna break it down a bit more. It's got locks. Sorry. It's got keys. It's got space. And it's got enter.
Computer.
But you can't go outside. Keyboard.
Keyboard.
Yeah.
Same two.
So, yeah. 1-0. Okay. I don't know if, okay. What is half of 2 plus 2? I know you said that.
I mean,
It is a riddle after all. Half of 2 plus 2?
I think I missed school.
Okay, let's break it down. What's 2 plus 2?
2 plus 4.
And then what's half of that?
2.
It says the answer's 3, so
We were going with 3.
I knew it was 3, but I thought I'd let TT take the maths.
See, Anthony had all the answers
how
all
it's
along.
3. What is half of 2? Oh, half of... Okay, so if you say there was a comma there, what is half of 2? 1 plus 2, 3.
Okay.
Trick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a trick. Okay, last one, guys. How do you go from 98 to 700... Right, okay, we'll leave that one.
Yeah, please. Maths is not my strong suit.
Okay. What fruit is always sad?
Fruit is
This is so G-A-Y.
it's always sad. Up
Think
here.
Think of other words for sad and then a fruit that's got that word.
Tad.
It's a colour.
Tangerine. I don't know where
Tangerine
we're going
means?
with that one. I don't know where we're going with that one. I'm just going in with like tad, tad. I don't know.
Yeah, that logic was wild.
Yeah. Now you threw me off. I don't even know where to go with mine. Colour.
A colour. It's a primary colour. Primary. Red, yellow, orange, green.
Orange and purple.
Red, yellow, blue.
Blue.
I don't know my primary colours. Red, yellow, blue and green.
Blue.
Blue, berry.
Blue.
Anyway, that I just feel like that was absolute shambles. Moving swiftly on. Trying to think where we left the conversation. I think we're speaking about self-healing, and you were speaking about grounding, which is quite interesting. Have you ever done, do you know what I don't think is known by obviously everyone? The healing benefits of nature. So like your trees, you walk in, and like the scientific aspects that we are electrical. And you were saying about putting your feet, do you do that with no socks on?
Not outside, no.
Okay. So I like to put my feet on grass.
Yeah.
Because what people don't know, and even your hands, is it actually neutralises your energy.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to act like I know the ins and outs of this. But if you just do it, you'll feel it. Like it's nice. It's grounding, as they say. So spending time in nature, really healing, and I think it's so underestimated. Yeah.
Whilst we're on about nature, I've got a few friends who have an organisation called AKA.
Yeah.
and they do lots of stuff, you know, hikes, biking, and they offer the opportunity to get into nature that a lot of young people, older people may not have experienced in the inner community. So they do lots of stuff. If you want to check out their website on AKA, and they're on Insta as well.
I was going to say they're on Insta, aren't
Yeah,
they?
AKA. Also, what they do is fire in the cave. And again, it's once every so often opportunity for people to meet up and just talk about life. Towards Stapleford, I want to say, there's like small caves right at the back of Bilborough, Woollet and Bilborough as you're going down.
Opposite Bramcote Park, end of
Yes.
Coventry Laneway.
Yes.
Like Red Caves,
Yeah.
Red Rock, I think it's called.
You know, we'll go there, set a fire, go for a couple of hours and just take the opportunity to talk about life, talk about things that you're going through, obviously catch up, and it just gives you that space to not feel judged, to get the support that you may need at that time. So that's something that is highly recommended, you know, whenever they put out the opportunity to do that. And if you see that, I would highly recommend that people take the opportunity to do it when they get it.
That sounds amazing. And for anyone listening that might want to get involved, the Insta is AKA, literally, _CIC. So I suppose just message them and see what they've got going on. That sounds good. I've seen a lot of the walks that they do, like up in Peak District and that sort of thing. Yeah. And even just the way that walking, if you do an actual trail, and see, you know, do one that's maybe a 4 mile, like a 4 mile. I did a 4 hour. I did the one in Wales, Mount Snowdon.
Yeah.
The physical and the mental challenge, it's such a sense of accomplishment at the end. Just really good for your physical and mental health.
Yeah, you get pushed and tested through some stuff. I remember the last time I did it, and I'm not sure I was fully ready for it. And I was asking the guy who was leading, how long until we're back to the car? Because we've been there for hours now, and it ended up we've nearly done 10 miles or so. And I was just knackered. And I'm like, yo, when are we near the car? He said, yeah, Bedders, it's just around the corner.
And he kept saying
He just kept on saying, I'm like, how long is this corner? Like, I wasn't ready for the torture what I was going to put my body through. But, you know, when you're ready for it, they're highly recommended.
Yeah, definitely. So I was researching earlier, and they were saying that a lot of the common reasons that men don't speak up, these are the most common answers. 40% of people said, I've learned to deal with it. 36% of people said, I don't want to be a burden to anyone. There was, I'm too embarrassed, which we spoke about. The negative stigma around it, so not wanting to be judged, I suppose. I don't want to admit that I need support, so again, feeling
weak, yeah.
Yeah. Again, the one underneath that does actually say I don't want to appear weak, and then I've got no one to talk to. And that probably pretty much covers most of the reasons why people don't really speak out. What would you say are some of the signs? Because within men, it seems as though they don't want to be judged and they don't want to feel weak and all the things we spoke about. If you're looking for signs of like your loved ones, your friends, your family, like what sort of things would you say are signs that we can probably notice, other than the obvious?
Erratic behaviour.
Yeah.
Just
making rash decisions.
Making rash decisions, not thinking about things, not being considerate of others when they're making these rash decisions.
I think people that are always angry is a big sign. If you've got a lot of anger, more time it's just pent up something going on. Yeah,
pent up frustration that you've not been able to release. Definitely is one of the biggest triggers, but it's difficult to manage that in terms of to notice that. If there's some people out there who are just angry, you know, it's difficult
to. Personality?
Yeah, they might have that personality trait of just being quite aggressive.
But
So-
the thing is do you think that is a personality trait, or I don't know. It becomes your personality when it's a regular pattern of behaviour, right?
Yeah.
But then we're not born angry, surely.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Certain things will happen that will put you in an angry state. But then some people just live there, unfortunately.
And stay there, yeah. So frustration. And do you know what I've noticed as I've got older? The people that are the most quick to snap, like we said, angry, they're the people that really, sometimes some of the kindest, nicest people, once you are just kind to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually need more attention, love, understanding than someone that isn't always snapping. They're obviously quite, a bit more stable in their emotions. So yeah, if you've got anyone around you that seems a bit erratic and whatever, just try and have a talk to them. And it can be hard to break that barrier, as we know, but I think the more
We normalise it.
yeah.
And allow that space for each other. The more we do that, the more comfortable it will become for both parties to offer the space and to be able to take the space.
Yeah. It was saying online that 77% of suicide is by men. So I think that says a lot about the struggle that men go through in speaking about their emotions. But it's like anything, the first step's the hardest, isn't it? So as soon as you make speaking about how you feel a regular thing, it just becomes easier and easier and easier. It's like when you've got to get up and speak in front of 100 or 1,000 people or whatever.
Ooh.
It's the worst thing ever. You want to die, don't you?
Yeah,
You want the ground
yeah.
to swallow you up. But if you did it every day, it'd be nothing.
Yeah, it will get easier. It gets easier to speak. It gets easier to put yourself in that vulnerable position. Once you've found your person, your people that you feel comfortable enough with to have these conversations with, it gets easier, and you'll start to feel less shame. You'll start to feel that it's actually a strength, and I feel a lot of people don't realise that if you are able to regulate your emotions, you're in control of situations, and you're able to show vulnerability when it's needed, it's actually a strength, knowing when to gauge, when to do it and when not to.
100%. It's so brave. Like you say, it's just knowing that safe space to do it within. Because maybe, people have tried to speak out in the past and whatever, and just if you've had one experience of doing that with the wrong person, and they've told people you didn't want to know, or they've not reacted in the right way, or they've given you bad advice, that can easily put people off from ever doing it again. So there's that as well. But we've got A to B therapy here, so hit him up. And yeah, just think about who would probably be best to go to. And again, there's all the professional help out there if you don't have no one to speak to. Some of the other signs, if you are worried about anyone around you, or if you didn't know what to look for, one is someone that's always worried. So someone that worries a lot about everything. They've probably got a lot of anxiety. They're probably a big overthinker. So not only are they showing that they're worried all the time, that's actually a sign of they probably need someone to speak to and vent their worries to. Overwhelming feelings of sadness, which is quite an obvious one. Again, absolutely normal human emotions, nothing to be ashamed of. Life can be so difficult. Withdrawal from friends and family, which we all sometimes do.
Yeah, and it's, again, that one's a difficult one to notice, because most people generally are just busy. You might be at work, Tanisha, and it's like, hold on, I've not seen her for 3 weeks. You might generally just be busy and fine, but that shouldn't stop people from just checking in and just seeing how you're getting on.
Yeah, because often people that will be their excuse, busy, but really at home not wanting to socialise or whatever it might be.
You can hide behind being busy.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, guys, check in on your people that are always busy. being too busy can stress you out. You've not got the time to, regulate how you're feeling, to do things that make you feel good, and just self-care, just time to look after yourself, really, if you're too busy. Feeling tired or fatigued, that could be a sign of something going on. Constantly feeling tired, maybe you, again, overthinking,
overdoing it, lack of not getting any sleep.
Yeah, lack of sleep, overwhelmed. Substance abuse we spoke about, anger and irritability we spoke about, working obsessively. Yeah, I suppose if you're trying to avoid everything else in life and just work all the time.
Just burying yourself in work.
Yeah, that could be a sign. We've spoke about sleeping problems and reckless behaviour, so just behaviour that's out of the ordinary, irrational decision making, that sort of thing. Is there a considerable difference between black men seeking help more than, for example, white men or any other race?
I think for me, in terms of my clients that I've got, it's very rare that in the few years I've been doing it, I've not had any black male clients.
Really? None? Not one?
No.
See, that's worrying.
Yeah.
I would like to think it's because you've got, good women in your family, your life, whatever. But
I think it's more of a cultural thing. Obviously, I can't speak on everybody's culture, but I know certainly in the Jamaican British culture, it was you keep everything in house. You don't tell people your business going outside.
Yeah.
So that is certainly something that was passed on from our grandparents to our parents, who then in turn passed it on to us, who were probably passing it on to our kids. But now there's that shift where certain things have been happening, and we are now trying to get people to open up and be vulnerable and talk about things, but a lot of people still aren't taking that opportunity to do it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's sort of like our generation more that's breaking the mould, and we need to be doing that at every opportunity that we can. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
If when you're in schools, I know there are a lot of black mentors. I know there are a lot of more role models, and if you have one, and this is going to young boys, young black boys, anybody, and you feel that is somebody that you can talk to in school, your mentor, about how cool his trainers are and what car he drives and how did he get that, you also should feel comfortable to be able to say, you know what, I'm not feeling great today about certain things. And same way for these people who are role models in, who do go into schools, who do go into youth centres, offer that space. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to be a therapist to offer the space, but you can have those starting conversations and point them in the right direction. Definitely. Of therapists or whatever organisations that they can seek help from. Because again, going back to pricing, this will be another thing. What is another stumbling block is finding somebody in your price range, or if you can afford it. If you might not even have a price range, but there are organisations out there who will offer support, and it's just taking that first step.
And the waiting list as well. So if you do go through the doctors and you try and do it where you don't have to pay, it's just the waiting list is so long that it becomes obviously a disadvantage to people. Yeah,
I mean, unfortunately, the company I work for, our waiting list is 2+ years.
Wow.
And it's quite sad that people have to wait that amount of time to be able to seek the support.
Definitely. And it's something definitely that we should, be working on. Like you say, you've got the AKA, CIC, and I'm sure there's other organisations out there where you can get together and do things. And I just think more awareness of these sort of groups, like people like yourself, that people can reach out to, is great, because I think once you start looking for the help, you're very likely to find exactly what you need, as long as you're looking for it.
Yeah, definitely. There's help out there. And one other thing I would put into how to help yourself is manage what you're doing online and who you're watching, and what kind of advice you're talking, because there's a lot because there's a lot of people who will claim to be having your best interest at heart online, but they're spouting a lot of toxic stuff. So just be mindful of who you're following, what type of person you are listening to when you are watching online, because some of these videos that you do see and some of the lifestyle that people portray online, they will have you thinking that they've got their life all together and everything's all rosy, they've got money, they've got no issues. But nobody posts their fails online. Nobody's posting, telling you about their downtimes, or so just be careful about who you do follow, and try and follow some inspirational characters, people online, and they're out there, trust me, they are.
And I think even a break from social media nowadays is good for anyone. If you need it, if you feel like overwhelmed with life, social media is one of the worst things you can be doing, scrolling on all day. If you're not feeling great, don't think it's very good for you. Unless, however, I mean, there are a lot of positive pages as well. So, I mean, if you did a sort of restart, unfollowed all the sort of toxic stuff that you might not notice is even toxic, and just start following all the positivity pages, the self-help pages, that sort of thing.
It's so difficult online because you can get pulled into something without even realising it, in terms of stuff that goes viral, stuff that everybody's talking about and commenting on. It's shrouded by toxicness or some level of negativity, and it may be funny. And this is the thing, a lot of what we watch online is quite funny, and we will sit there and laugh. But if this was in real life, this was your life all the time, or that was you who's gone viral for something quite negative, you wouldn't like it. But in terms of, let's take today for instance, this is a very positive show that we're doing, and it would be great if it went viral, and lots of people tuned in, lots of people shared, lots of people were involved in what we're doing. But the likelihood of it is there could be something else on at this time that has a more negative connotation to it, and they'll probably watch that instead.
It's entertainment, isn't it? Just to make a quick point, you know what really cringes me? All them like baddie shows. And like I know there's a British one now, I forgot what it's called. I think it's Lani Good that does it.
Okay.
I look at it and I think this is just so toxic for females. They all get put in a house, drama's put there, everyone fights, everyone's shaking the bum and the tits, and I just look at it and think these young girls are really, some of them, I mean, hopefully not everyone, but a lot of young girls are very influenced by it. Young guys are influenced, and it's so toxic what is being shared and put out there and what is popular, basically.
It's actually sad because obviously a lot of young people will be watching those kind of the clips, the video. I believe you have to have a subscription for that channel to watch that show. But there'll be a lot of young girls who watch that. I believe they did a male one as well, and they'll want to be like that. They want to start living their lives like that, but it doesn't have to be that way. Being all right in terms of not putting people down or not creating issues or not wanting to fight everybody is okay,
Trust me, peaceful life is what you should be attaining to, not drama. But it's the drama that brings the entertainment, isn't it?
The drama brings the entertainment.
The numbers, which we understand, some of it is just entertainment, but people just need to be very self-aware of what's going into their brains, because it's subconsciously affecting you more than you're aware of. Unfortunately, but we will be posting on our social media, Girls Talk Not X, a load of organisations that can be